Welcome back to Hannity. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban, well, he's in hot water from a few people talking about stereotypes. Well, actually being honest. Here's what he said.
I mean, we're all prejudiced in one way or the other. If I see a black kid in a hoodie and it's late at night, I'm walking to the other side of the street. And if on that side of the street there's a guy that has tattoos all over his face, white guy, bald head, tattoos everywhere, I'm walking back to the other side of the street. And the list goes on of stereotypes that we all live up to and are fearful of.
Now, you may remember back in 1993, somebody very famous said something very similar. His name, the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Here's what he said. He said, "There's nothing more painful to me at this stage of my life to walk down the street and hear footsteps and start thinking about robbery, and then look around and see, oh, someone's white, and then feel relieved." Wow. Here with reaction, we have our panel. Producer of the Imus in the Morning Show, Bernard McGurk. Bejesus, how are you?
Hannity, good. How the hell are you, Sean Hannity?
The man with, all right, there is something that's going to come out about me and Geraldo sometime this fall. That Geraldo kissed me.
And then he kissed me.
He kissed me. You kissed me.
Oh, he kissed me.
And I couldn't defend myself. And Sandra Smith.
I love it. I can't wait
He
to
was
see
the aggressor.
Oh, man. Now, all right, before we get to your comment, well, I want you to go to I love Stephen A. Smith. ESPN, he's a friend of mine. Love him. He's taken fire for saying this.
I want to emphasize that I have absolutely, positively no problem whatsoever with what Mark Cuban had to say. Zero. There was nothing remotely offensive about what this man had to say. Now, I understand that me being a black man, an African American, that people are going to be rubbed the wrong way by those statements. They will need to get over it.
Geraldo, is it reasonable and rational? Imagine Bernard McGurk with tattoos over his face.
Yeah, I'm offended, by the way,
okay.
with the bull head remark.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
All right, wait. And you see him on the street with the tattoos. Would you maybe walk on the other side of the street?
Well, I tend to swagger. I don't walk on the other side of the street, but the stereotype.
I'm sorry, did you get out of your Bentley?
He's the most interesting man in the world. He ain't walking across the other side.
If a young person wants to dress like the surveillance video of a 7-Eleven stick-up, then by all means he's free to do that. But he has to then understand that people react. If you want to look like a thug, then people will react to you like a thug. I've been preaching that since Trayvon Martin. I got in just as much hot water as Mark Cuban.
I know, you got beaten up for it.
Cuban was right. He was honest. He was straightforward. You dress for success or you dress for regress.
Well said. I couldn't agree more.
I think Mark Cuban, while I don't put that much weight into what Mark Cuban says, he's a respectable businessman. Look, I mean, he's a guy who got arguably very lucky. In the dot-com days, he got a lot of Yahoo stock for a company that he started. I'm not picking on Mark Cuban.
I like Mark Cuban. Why are you picking on Mark Cuban?
I think he's a nice guy. Let me tell you, every time he gets fined by the league, which is often, he matches it in charity donations. I think he's a very good guy. I'm just saying I don't put that much weight into what he's saying here. However, I will say he's acknowledging something very simple, that we have stereotypes, that we have prejudices, and as he tells his employees, it's about controlling them and dealing with them.
You see, I'm afraid that political correctness is going to short-circuit our own instinct to protect ourselves and get away from danger. Geraldo's right. If you see somebody that wants to dress, intimidate in a way that intimidates, go away.
Listen, Sean, one of the biggest fallacies that's out there, perpetuated by many, including, I believe, President Obama, was that black men that can't catch a cab in New York City because of racism. As somebody who drove a cab at night for almost 8 years, I robbed multiple times and assaulted, I can tell you that it's not racism, it's fear and economics that drives that, and that's again,
it's statistics.
Exactly what I'm saying. That's the point.
Stereotypes are based on statistics.
But when somebody like the president perpetuates, again, a fallacy like that, it breeds animosity. Instead of saying, no, let's try to make them less fearful, and as opposed to saying it's racism.
I think we have an instinctive reaction to danger. If you see a group of Hell's Angels, right? Or anybody that looks like they belong on the show Lockup, which is the only show that anybody watches on NBC, you know, it's smart to go in the other direction. I'm sorry, that's basic, simple, common sense, and stop doubting yourself if you think that way.
I agree. I wonder what you think. Should Donald Sterling be forced to sell the L.A. Clippers?
Yes, he should get out. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
He's a moron.
What if he has to sell it at below market rates?
Who cares?
you know, you want me to cry a tear for a billionaire?
It's an illegally recorded tape. Does that make a difference?
It does make
a private conversation
that bothers
in his
me.
own home.
Yeah, it bothers me.
If you're outraged by what the NSA is doing and you're not outraged by that, then there's
I just felt what
this woman did to him.
There's a little bit of hypocrisy.
What do you
but
think?
Still, he's an old scum.
Now that Geraldo's taken over the show.
No, Geraldo, but now they're saying what Mark Cuban did is arguably worse than what Sterling did because he's openly saying that he's a bigot. He actually called himself a bigot.
That is not. I don't agree that term bigot applies here. Now, maybe stereotyping people based on how they dress, but Geraldo has it right.
That's not bigotry. That is not bigotry. Now, Sterling is a racist. But how many people say things in their own home or to their own buddies or their mistresses or their wives? And imagine if everything was tape recorded, how politically correct
Geraldo,
would we be?
If you told me a joke, Hannity, what's an Irish seven-course meal? A six-pack and a potato, I'd laugh.
I'd laugh. That's funny.
You never heard that before?
Excuse me. No, I never heard it.
Oh, my God. You're not Irish,
I don't hear those racist jokes. My friends don't tell us.
How come an Irishman doesn't move his hands when he dances? He doesn't want to spill the drink. I mean, that's terrible stuff. Terrible.
But that's horrible.
Didn't Bloomberg, the mayor here, get in trouble for
Mayor
that?
did something almost similar to what Sterling did, talk the disgusting stuff about Irish people. And he said that's what we believe. But still, we let him go.
Look,
let me just say this about stop and frisk and misunderstanding and attributing stuff to racism. For example, in New York City, stop and frisk. If the people who were victimized by it, you can understand who are subjected to it, you can understand why they'll be upset if a cab passes them by or a cop stops them out of left field. But if they understand that it's to protect old ladies from getting shot, kids from getting shot, if there's understanding as opposed to saying, oh, no, it's because it's because of racism, I think, that furthers the conversation.
Listen, I just think you got to follow your gut, follow your instinct. Look, I bet you if I met Hell's Angels and Motorcycle Gang, and they're probably, some of them are nice guys.
And bull-headed guys like me.
I used to slap my kids, my sons, when they were going out wearing a hoodie. I said, slap them in the top of the head, just like a friendly thing.
My son wears it when he plays sports.
Sports is different. You're driving around in your Camaro, your black Camaro with a hoodie on.
Why did you buy your kid a black Camaro?
Because why did I do things? Why did dads do
Why didn't you just lend them the Bentley?
You lend them your private jet.
All right, guys, good to see you.